This video was sponsored by One Nest Studios. Elevate your sound. If you're looking for a studio that is reasonably priced to record your music, podcasts, etc., then you cannot go wrong with One Nest Studios. Contact the number down below or the email address or visit their website for more details. Thank you. Hi, this is an unusual video I'm making today. It's about two selfie poles which are very compact and similar looking, but both made by two different manufacturers. One here is the AFAITH pole and the other one here is the MyGadget's pole. Now both of these extend out to the same length of 19 inches. The AFAITH you can pick up on Amazon for $8.99 and the MyGadget's one you can pick up for $9.99. So they're roughly within the same price, just £1 between them. The build quality is roughly the same, but to save you buying on them, I'll just go through what they're like, what you'll expect, and what I can see, not any differences between the two of them. So I'll start off with the AFAITH Go Easy Pole Mini. I'll start off with that one first and then go with the MyGadgets. Now the AFAITH comes in this box and it's the Go Easy Pole Mini, and you just get it in a straightforward box with a little hole here, and that is just to generally show that you can get this in different colors. And the one I've got is the black with a blue accent on it. The MyGadgets comes in this bag, and straight away you can see the actual color of the actual pole, and it is in black with this one. And on the front of the bag you just got the support line and some numbers and MyGadget's Facebook page on there. Now the AFAITH pole, this is how it comes in the box. This is what you get. You get the lanyard here with a wrist adjustment here, which is push button for wrist adjustment. You get various colors, but only the end part is in color. The handles are not in color, just the ends here, and this one's the kind of dark blue. And also you get a thumb screw at the top with its own nut attached to it on this kind of GoPro style fingers mount. Now with the MyGadgets you get a little leaflet here, and that's what's written on the leaflet. And you get another little leaflet again if you're happy or unhappy with the product. And this is the MyGadget's pole, which is, as I said, is so similar to the AFAITH pole. Now on here it doesn't say AFAITH, I think it states Selfie 2 on there on the lanyard here, but it also has a wrist button here, wrist adjustment button here, the same as the AFAITH. And along with the AFAITH you get this in black. Now looking on Amazon website I couldn't see any other colors, so I think you just get this with a black accent at the bottom here for the loop. And the same again, you get a GoPro style thumb screw up here with incorporated nut. Now here are the two poles, the AFAITH at the top, the GoGadgets at the bottom, and as you can see they're very much identically the same. The MyGadget's pole looks a little bit longer than the AFAITH's in the way how the handle is. They both come with rubber handles with this kind of dimpling effect to them. They're very small, very compact. The AFAITH is about 6 inches in length, closed down, and the MyGadget is 6.5 inches in length when closed down. So it's just a little bit longer, this one. But as I says, the both are roughly the same. Now it states, this is the AFAITH, and it states on there that the AFAITH from the very top of the mount to the very bottom is 19 inches that it extends to. Now, as I say in all my other videos, I don't really count that length because to me that is not the actual extended length. When you pull the actual stem out, I normally count from the top of the handle to the bottom of the mount, and between those 2 points it is 12 inches that it extends out to. So the actual extension length is 12 inches, because obviously you lose some at the top here with the mount and you lose it with the handle when you hold the handle. So that's the proper extension length, 12 inches. Now the AFAITH here has the same as the Go Easy, which I'll show you. It has this kind of twist, so you pull out, it's a pull out, and then with this one it is an anti-clockwise turn to lock it in place, and it's a clockwise turn to collapse it down. The stem has a seam at either side, so if the camera's facing you, you'll have a seam on the left, my right to your left, left hand side to my right, and right hand side to your left. There's a seam running all the way down to give it added strength. The collars here, which I have noticed, the collars here have plastic collars here, so the whole thing is aluminium, but it has plastic collars, and the collars are thin and also the same color as the stem, which is quite good for the price that you're paying for this compact pole. Now for a wobble test, there is a slight wobble, but the wobble is coming from the handle here at this bottom section here. But it's not too much to be concerned about because it's not a huge length extendable pole. It's just a short length one. So it's here and there with that. So to me, I could live with that. The mount at the top here is plastic. So we have a plastic mount up here, and you cannot remove it. It is fixed to the stem, so it cannot be removed. Now this is the MyGadget's compact pole, and the MyGadgets also state it's roughly about just over 19.5 inches long in length from the very top to the very bottom, but the actual true extension length here is 11.5 inches. So this one is 11.5 inches when fully extended out, which is different than the AFAITH, which I think I said it was 12. So this is 11.5 inches. Just like the AFAITH with the MyGadget, sorry. The seam now on this is different. You have a front seam on here, on the stem here, and a back seam on the back when the camera is facing you. So it's the seam positioning is different than the AFAITH with the MyGadgets. The actual colouring of the stem is different. While the AFAITH was a more matte black, this is a more shiny black in colour. I know on camera they probably look the same, but in real life this is a more shiny black to the AFAITH one, which is a more matte. At the same way with what they've done here than what they've done with what the AFAITH has done. It relies on the twist motion, and this now to close this one down is clockwise to close it down and anti-clockwise to hold it. I think it's the same with the AFAITHs. The collars here are coloured the same way to the pole, which is great considering it gives it more of a stealth look and a more of a premium look. The top here is the same as the AFAITHs on the MyGadgets, except this is a more shinier, more glossier mount at the top than the AFAITHs, which is a more duller black colour, and this is fastened to the top. So you cannot remove this mount at the top. It is fastened in, and it is made out of plastic. Now, one thing I noticed with the MyGadgets compared to the AFAITHs, we'll do the wobble test. And this is what I've noticed in the, sorry about that, that was my clock. One thing I noticed in this, there is no wobbling in this whatsoever. So the whole thing feels absolutely stiff, rather than the AFAITH, there's a slight bit of wobble. Nothing to be concerned about with the AFAITH one, but with this one, there is no wobble when shaking the camera, the GoPro or action camera on there. I didn't get no wobbling from this. Now here's the two poles. Here's the two poles, and as I said, they look very much identical to each other, but as a close-up, and you probably won't get this on the camera, but on a close-up, this is in a kind of matte black, this is in a shiny black, as I stated. The same goes again with the handles here. This is a more shinier rubber, and to the more matte black rubber on here. Both of them are very grippy. I give it that. Both of them are very grippy in the hand and with gloves on. I've tested these with gloves on, and they're both grippy even with gloves on. Other than for using for action, if you don't mind, and sorry about that, if you don't mind them for action, for serious action sports, I think you could get away with this. You can get away with these as action sport. I tend to think you can more likely get away with the MyGadgets than the AFAITHs. This could be just a one-off. As I said, there's a bit of wobbling in this one. It could be a one-off, and it could be just this one has that wobble in there. And if you was to buy one, it may be different and it may be solid. But I'd say the MyGadgets, for action sports, serious action sports, you can't go wrong with the two of them. And as I said, they are very, very compact. So you can able to take these in any kind of luggage, even in your pocket. You can even put them in a coat pocket. They're that compact. Now I'm going to give my 2 pence worth on the both of these. The one with the camera is the MyGadgets. The one without the camera is the AFAITHs, right? Both of these poles are great if you're looking for a nice, cheap, compact pole, which is fairly built. I wouldn't say very good built or bulletproof, but fairly good built. You can't go wrong with these, especially for the price. They are very, very grippy. So if you need something small, compact, with a lot of grip when you're holding it, you can't go wrong with these. The diameters, both at the bottom of these, are more like the Sandmark pole. They've got that kind of thick diameter at the bottom for easy grip, and then taper off as they go further up, the handles on the both of them, so they're good for grip. As for the shake test that I gave, the negatives would be for the AFAITH or AFAITH. It goes to this one because there was a slight wobble in this. Even when it was fully locked out, there was a wobble in this. But if you don't mind that kind of slight wobbling, I don't mean it's a wobble that it looks like it's going to fall apart. If you don't mind that, then obviously what you pay £1 less for this one, it's all right. The MyGadget one, absolutely no wobble in there whatsoever. Very good pole. Now it just comes down to with the finishing. This has a matte black finish on the AFAITH. This has a gloss black finish, including the handles, on the MyGadgets. Both of these you cannot go wrong with. Both of these are nice, simple and compact, and can fit anywhere when closed down. So if you, as I said again, I haven't really got anything bad to say about these at all. Probably, if anything, on the both negatives on these is probably the top part up here, the actual holders on the top of the both of them. They are made out of plastic, and if that's your concern, that if you're depending what kind of action sports you're doing or where you be taking these and you're concerned about them, then I wouldn't purchase these based on the top, because they are made out of plastic, and I'd look for something else that is made out of metal. But for this kind of price range, they're going to be plastic at the top for the mounts, so be aware of that. Now, one thing I noticed with the two of these, and especially if you've got the GoPro 8, because the GoPro 8 fingers are metal, obviously, rather than if you got the 7, the 6, the 5, and the 4, etc., which are plastic. Now, I don't know if GoPro have made these teeth on the bottom of these, on the actual built-in fingers, sorry, are slightly a bit bigger, but to squeeze these, to put the GoPro on these was a bit tricky. Now, it's either the GoPro's teeth or fingers are slightly wider than normal, or these two poles here, the teeth at the gaps between the fingers at the top then, or the teeth, or whatever you want to call it, are slightly a bit narrower. But bear in mind, it's going to be a bit fiddly to fit a GoPro 8 on here. You can do it, but it's going to be very fiddly. Now, that's my conclusion of the two of these, the AFAITHs and the MyGadgets. If you happen to have any of these two poles, now I know these are generic type poles because other companies make the same kind of poles, so I don't know if they come out the same factory and just a difference in ½ an inch on the two of them. So I do not know, but I know other companies make exactly the same pole under different names. So if you've got any of these poles of this particular style, please let us know. One thing I forgot to cover, the actual loops at the bottom are both made out of metal. So these loops are both made out of metal at the bottom, which I've just stated. If you got these poles, please let us know down in the comment section what you think about them, because your opinion is different to my opinion about these. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you don't like the video, give it a thumbs down. I know my videos can be long, but I like to be thorough to save you the time in buying the actual product. And if you bought it, at least you could say, oh, that guy on the YouTube, he was right. This is what I found about it, and this is what I found, he was right about that, to save you the time buying it. Please do not forget to subscribe to my channel, and thanks for watching.